CFG GameCast episode number 106, a weekly podcast created by gamers and streamers alike to discuss the latest gaming topics from the previous week. We stream a new episode on Saturdays and release it on podcast services like Apple, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and so much more. So show us some love. Give us a follow, a like, a comment, what have you on any of our podcast services that are out there, or go to our main website, confreaksandgeeks.com, to not miss an episode. I am Mr. CFG Games himself, Davis Green, and with me today are my two awesome co-hosts. I got the serial killer, Lex in the second seat. What is going on, my cyborg? Oh, that's a killer or chiller? Serial killer.
Yeah, and I watched the serial killer.
Called her out.
I called her out. I did.
Don't tell them about my track record. Jesus, the cops are going to be arguing now.
Like, you just doxed her. I'm so sorry.
I played 12 minutes this week, and I was flabbergasted at how much content there is. I played through just by myself. Obviously, it continues. You keep looping. I played through until I hit multiple endings and could either continue on or what I thought was I could continue on, or I had a couple options and I hit the wrong option and it ended the game completely. And I had already gotten one ending or two endings maybe, and then that was a third. I don't know how many total there are. So I'm kind of doing a secondary playthrough with a little bit of a guide to see what did I miss anything? Was there something I didn't think to look through? So I'm having a lot of fun with 12 minutes. It's really good. If you haven't played it, 10 out of 10 would recommend. God, I might. Hold on. Do I need to turn a light down or something?
Yeah.
I might be extra paced. I switched medicines this week.
Yeah, that's fair.
So I might be extra pace. I don't know.
You're not that bad on my side because the contrast is high already. But it's okay.
Maybe my monitor.
Well, that's also very true. I mean, how's she look on yours, Smitty?
She looks good on this one, although she does look a little blown out on the actual Twitch stream for some reason.
Yeah, it's all right. Okay. It's probably
all right. Well, I mean,
yeah.
It's okay. Well, that's good. At least I'm glad that you're enjoying it. I know Smitty and I gave the seal of approval that we said, this is something that you would like. You would definitely enjoy. So yeah.
And it's kind of funny because you're playing and people in chat may have seen one scenario and they're like, oh, you should try this. And it's like, oh, that's a great idea. I should try that. And you do that and it's a horrible death for one or both or all three of them. You're like, oh God, no, I killed them. I'm so sorry. And then a couple times, in chat, Chrissy's like, wait, can I have questions? And she's like, can you try this? Now do this. I'm like, okay, you control. I'll pause. I'll wait. What do you want me to do next?
Is there a time limit? Is there a time limit on the decisions to choose from within the the 3 to 4 options that they give you?
When they give you a pop-up, I believe the gameplay pauses. I could be wrong on that, but you have 12 minutes to get whatever it is that you need to get done. So you start out in the elevator and then you make your way into your apartment and then you have 12 minutes to go around and look for stuff, talk to the person in your apartment, ask questions, don't ask questions, walk in and just hide. You have a plethora of decisions you can make. But it's very interesting because there was a couple times where I didn't realize, oh, I did this, so then this happened. And I heard it and I was like, it sounds like someone's getting shocked. What is that? And chat was like, are you joking? you did it twice. I'm like, oh, whoops, my bad. But it's interesting. And I think it's really fun. It kind of makes you think wow, depending on a scenario, everything is just our perception. And unless we're looking at it from an above view, like a fish tank, you don't really think about how your perception is your reality until it's not your perception and it's not your reality. And I think that makes it really neat. And there's a lot of plot twists that you don't actually see coming. You're like, oh, Oh no.
Mhm.
So it was good. I 10 out of 10 recommend. If you're playing for the Xbox Game Pass on any of your devices, play it. It's free on there. Go for it, dude.
Very nice, awesome. Well, that's good. But do you know who is also just a clean, baby shaven human being as we are, as he is today?
Stuck in a forever time loop. I do. His name is
the 5-star general of the itty bitty Smitty committee. I got Smitty in the third seat. What's going on, my dude?
You already know what it is. We got in the Last Wish raid last night. Zuzu, Dusk, Jago, a bunch of other people. Great group. We're supposed to do one of the raids, I think, tonight, either VOG or Garden of Salvation. So it's really nice to be able to have a group of chill people that you can do these end game activities with. I feel like it's so hard to come by, and there's a bunch of people. So, you know, I'm just enjoying that time and being able to hang out, and it's really giving me that feel for Destiny and how it was back in the day and how I felt when I was originally playing the Destiny, doing raid parties and stuff. So that was cool. I'm excited about all kinds of things. I know that we're not going to talk about it today, but I saw that Amazon Luna, they're celebrating their 1 year anniversary of that being a platform. They brought out a new family channel, which I'm going to check out. That's supposed to be games that are geared more towards kids and things of that nature. They're rolling out a couch co-op mode for Luna. So you send an invite code and somebody else, if they have that, you know, you get the app and you're able to play a game together at couch co-op style. So that is freaking awesome. And then obviously the Ubisoft stuff. So I love the fact that they're still supporting it. I think for me, it's been, I exclusively played, Legion, Watchdog Legions on Luna just to see what an experience would be like playing through a full game through the platform. And it was fantastic. It was a great experience. Highly recommend people checking out. But other than that though, man.
That's how you played Watch Dogs? You didn't buy it on your console or your PC? Oh, wow. Okay. I didn't know that.
No, I did buy it on PC. I did. Or no. I have it because I have Ubisoft. So it was already on there. So I did have it on my PC. But Ubisoft Plus, if you have Ubisoft Plus, it connects into Luna, and that's how I was able to play it, was through there.
Oh, okay, cool.
So yeah, man. So lots of spicy video game news this week.
I just imagine. Well, like I just, you know, your new nickname should be. Your nickname should be the King of FOMO, dude.
What do you mean? Why?
I'm just thinking about it. It's like
every game service.
For what Lex is saying, like every monthly game service, and then your story's like saying, "Yeah, I bought the one that really sticks out to me is the one you bought Call of Duty and you bought Battlefield, and you ended up not playing both of them." That's the one that was just
terrible.
like, what?
That was terrible. I've learned my lesson from that. I don't plan on getting Vanguard unless like it's on sale or something like that. And that again for me would be more about the playing the story as opposed to the multiplayer. I just don't enjoy playing the multiplayer like I used to. I am going to be all about that. Oh, absolutely, dude. That's the day one for me. It's been a while since I played those, and those are solid.
Zuzu and I are totally all in on it, and then we're like, the funny part about it is that I have not watched or seen anything besides the video that they showed us at E3, and I've already been like, oh, okay, I'm in, because it's Battlefield again. The other ones weren't like it, so I just it turned me off on them. So, but
I definitely agree with that sentiment.
Yeah, so I'm definitely game on that.
What about you, though, man? What'd you have going on this weekend or this weekend?
I mean, the good news is that we got the cool thing is that we finally, the information has been, or the prayers have been answered. We got the PlayStation 5 that we're going to be able to raffle off. So that is going to be awesome. So I am so glad that we got it finally through all the red ropes and how hard it is to get one. So I'm pretty sure people are going to love the thing. So we're going to be doing a raffle for a PS5 for charity for our extra live stream in November. So got that hyped, got the system the other day. So we're just now, it's just sitting there. And so we're going to go do that. If you want to enter the raffle, Unknown, you might as well, because it's already active right now. First go to my page, because I only have it on, I only have it set to my page right now. I have, because I just did a soft release. if you go to CFG Games, type in exclamation point PS5, it will take you to our extra life page. So it's a 20. If you do that command, when you click on the link, it will take you to our extra life link, and then there, just it's a $20 raffle. So it's a $20 ticket to get a raffle. Put in the information needed, and we will be drawing on November 14th. So you don't have to be there live, but if you are, that'll be awesome. If not, we'll notify you. But yeah, we're going to be definitely getting that set up for extra life. I think it's it's for a good cause. So it's not like so it's not like I'm doing it for the monies or anything for that.
It's all going to charity.
Yeah, all going to the Phoenix Children's, 100% going to the Phoenix Children's Hospital. So yeah, there you go. And also it kind of pisses me off this week. I was a little upset. So like I said, I was going to stream. I was going to go back to start streaming. I'm going to still go back to streaming normally, like I did like a month and a half ago, starting next week. But like so I was going to start streaming Tales of Arise. But they didn't send me the collector's edition. I still don't have it. The collector's edition. It still hasn't come in. Yeah. So they emailed me on Thursday. They said Thursday they're like, hey, your package may be delayed a little bit. And I'm like, a little bit. Yeah. Didn't even give a day, like how long it's going to be. So then I was like, okay, well, that's not good. And so I waited the next day, Friday, when it came out. I was like, okay, it's Friday. When is, like, can you give me more information? Can you elaborate on when it's coming? They said, oh, well, we know that you're not going to get it today. It could take up to 10 business days for your package to come in. So I was like, well, what was okay, well, that's bull crap. And then so he said, but what they did do is that they gave me a free PS5 key to the game. So they gave me
so you can
a day one key. Yeah. So because they said they wanted us to experience the day one, and then they're going to give us a collector's edition. And I'm like, you know what? Should I just use that key or wait for the system to come, or wait for it to come out? But anyways, yeah. So that's where I was at right now with that. But other than that,
so that was a planned thing.
It was not planned. They were not planning on giving away keys at all. So because technically I got 2 copies of the game because of this. I got the physical copy, and then I'm going to get the digital copy.
Digital, yeah.
Yeah. What's up?
Did you buy the collector's edition, or were they sending that to you so that you could then review it?
They were sending it to me so I could review it.
Okay. So let me just point this out. This has happened not just once to you. I don't understand. If you want a game reviewed, don't you put it out a little early and just say, hey, can you not post your review until this date, or whatever the case is, right? Like, I don't understand. Like, this has happened to you. I've heard about it happening to a couple other friends of mine who also review other things, not just games, but products, right? And they're supposed to get it before the product comes out to then, kind of push the hype for it. And it's a collaboration. It makes people want the item or the game or whatever it is. I think it's
no.
silly.
I know what you're saying. No, I know what you mean. But yeah. Well, basically, it's this because, for me, I'm not an influencer, so that it's technically I'm.
I disagree. You do game reviews.
Yeah,
you
but they have
absolutely are in a sense. It's just a different.
They have different tiers, though. But the official tier is I'm not an influencer. That's how it is. Because there's an influencer level. And then because they like influencer levels, they talk to people like community managers and then and others and stuff like that. So that's a whole different group. I'm PR, so I'm technically press. So technically with press, they have an allocated amount of stuff, including physical stuff. So like usually if I wanted to get a game, if I just wanted to get just the said game, I could say, hey, is there an application for me to type in, we're interested in wanting to review this game. Is there any review keys available? Then they'll be like, yes or no. Here you go. They'll be able to digitally give it to me. But then I said, hey, I want the physical copy of this thing. Specifically, I wanted the physical copy because I wanted to do an unboxing and see what came into it. Then it's like, a whole level in itself, because they could be as sluggish as possible on that, which is usually the cause of it.
Right.
And they can take their time, or it could be super late and stuff like that. Yeah, that sucks when it happens. Unless you're like a big company like IGN or GameSpot and stuff like that. Those kind of stuff is usually like reserved for those kind of groups. But sometimes you get lucky enough, because I mean we're still relatively small comparatively to other groups, that they'll be like, oh, okay, we'll throw them a bone, we'll give it to them, but then we're still getting this, we're still getting the scraps.
See, in my head,
when it comes to that,
I guess because like I have to do a lot of like research stuff like in other fields. I don't feel like you're small fish in big pond. I feel like you're big fish in big pond, and that's why I'm like, wait a minute, this isn't the first time this has happened to you. Yeah. And I guess you're right. I need to think of you more as press and not just
influencer. Yeah,
in my mind, like you're so like logical with your reviews that it's like. It's silly not to read this opinion, because regardless of whichever way you feel, it's like all logistical. And I like that. You know what I mean? I don't necessarily want someone shoving their opinion down my throat, which is how I feel most reviews are. You know, you're pretty like neutral about everything, you know, and I like that.
We try to. It's funny. Like we really try. Thank you.
Yeah,
thank you.
But
I know.
Very, very well.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, like you have to be. You have to be neutral. That's the problem. But it's a weird kind of escape. Like, let's say, like, I mean, like for instance, you don't play Zelda. You never played Zelda before. No. You don't play RPGs usually.
Well, that's not why. But yes.
But let's say theoretically that you don't usually play that kind of. Yeah. But you don't usually play those kind of games. But then, like, you would want to play that. But would I want to set, like, so if I send you a game that you're not really familiar on how the system works, it can or it can't, depending on it could be really good or really bad. But since it's just your first time of being exposed to it, it is very, very tough to kind of not be partisan, because like I usually kind of give a person that likes RPGs the RPG games, because they're open enough. And I mean, then obviously just naturally you're going to have like a bias of like, oh, I love Final Fantasies. Let me try to, but here's the new Final Fantasy. The worst case scenario is that person's going to give it a 5 out of 5 when that game really isn't a 5 out of 5. It's like it can be straight up booty, you know. So so that's what it is, and that's what we try to avoid. But I always tell people, because I mean I'm not the only writer of it. I have a team of writers of people doing it. That try to be as real as possible, but be constructive about it. Don't be mean, you know. Don't be like a dick about like, oh, this game is like this is. I would rather
jump to crap.
Yeah, it's a piece of crap.
I only played 1 hour and I already hate it.
Like,
so
here are some of the
anymore.
technical issues that I've run into, but also here's the pros. So like, if you know what I mean, like you do a pro and a con, type of deal and whatnot.
Exactly. Like the one thing I love about it, and this is what I definitely love, is like this games that we get early, and the games that we get early, people will still say, like we know it's a problem. We let the person know this is a pre-patched game when we played it, so it's possible that these patches may not be the issue when it comes out. A very big possibility, on it. So I like trying to be as open as we possibly can. So,
now, I would like to point out, I would love to play Zelda from the beginning. I still have my Game Boy Color. I could technically.
Stop playing Zelda on the Game Boy. You have a Switch now. Just use. You know
I do. That's right.
It's on there. They're on there.
Are they? Oh,
yes.
From the beginnings.
You should. You know what you should do.
I'm pretty sure they have.
In my childhood, like I remember my neighbor. Asking me for sewing help because he wanted to be Link for Halloween. I was like, "Who's Link?" Awesome. He was like, "What? We did clues together every day, and you don't know who Link is?" Because at night before bed, he would play Zelda, and so he let me borrow his Game Boy. And his mom.
This is what I would suggest for you to do.
Yeah,
this is what I would suggest for you to do. You need to maybe just do a stream of you playing Zelda for the first time, because I think that would be pretty cool content because it's on your Switch. You have it on your Switch, and and play get the SNES emulator. I believe it's on. They have the best one in my opinion is a Link to the Past, or you can play the original. Or you can play the original one. And this is me, who hates Zelda with a passion, telling you to play Link to the Past, and I think it's a one that you would definitely enjoy. and see what you would like. And then you can say like, oh, I like this and stuff like that. Then you can play Zelda 64.
I loved like Pokemon Gold and all of those. I played them as a kid. I played Tomb Raider too, but it was really hard to see it. But yeah, no, I know. But like Zelda is definitely like a part of my childhood. I just never got to experience it because I would ask my mom like, hey, the game store only has it for this much. And she's like, I'm sorry, I don't have the money. I'm like, okay. And I felt bad ever asking again. So I wouldn't even ask for Christmas. Like I would write things down throughout the year as like a wish list. And like, if I asked my mom and she couldn't afford it, I'd cross it off my list and I wouldn't bother her again because I felt bad. I didn't want to be that pestering child,
And you still were.
Yeah.
Well, we need to break this up. Go trip past memory lane. I know we got so much stuff to cover today, so let's go through the normal rigmarole that we normally like to do each and every week. So each of us chooses a topic or discussion from the previous week in the world of gaming. The topic would or could be something in the world of gaming itself, or it could be a video game itself, but regardless, it's something that happened in the week, something recent. But we don't want to listen to our own opinions. We want you, the listeners or viewers, on twitch.tv, YouTube, and Facebook Live to be a part of the conversation. So by all means, if there's something that you see inside the chat or inside our conversations, by all means, just type it inside the chat. We would love to discuss it with the viewers. So let's get this party started. Let's go with Smitty first. What are you bringing to the table?
Yes, we got a follow up. We know, and we've been following this all through the summer and earlier on here in the year when Epic sued Apple. And when they ended up taking out Fortnite from the iOS store, there's a huge court case. This has been going on. We've gotten all kinds of spicy details as far as what the back end and some of the inner workings behind this stuff is really taking place and whatnot. But we finally got a decision on this stuff, and I just want to be able to read it quote wise from Judge Yvonne Gonzalez Rogers. Issued a permanent injunction in the Epic versus Apple case on Friday. And under the new order, Apple is permanently restrained and enjoined for prohibiting developers from including in their apps and their metadata buttons external links or other calls to action that direct customers to purchasing mechanisms, in addition to in-app purchasing and communicating with customers through points of contact obtained voluntarily from customers through account registrations within the app. Essentially, what that means is that Apple can no longer just say they have to use, that they're not allowed to use any kind of third-party purchaser or in-app purchases for these companies. This is a huge win for Epic and all kinds of developers that have games on there, because now at least they're able to say, hey, you can also purchase these from this other place or whatever. So then they essentially circumvent this 30% as far as with that Apple is looking to take from those cuts. So that is huge, but that's not the only thing that happened as far as with that, because there's a separate judgment. The court affirmed that Epic Games was in breach of its contract with Apple when it implemented the alternative payment system in the Fortnite app. As a result, Epic must pay Apple 30% of all revenue collected through the system since it was implemented, a sum of more than $3.5 million. So this one stings for Epic because, and this is true.
That's like
that's not that much.
That's not much for them. I guess maybe for me that seems like a lot. I'd be like $3.5 million. But again, in the overall scheme of things, too, when you think about this, the ultimate judgment, them being able to have separate ways of people being able to purchase things, that is huge, and that is going to easily cover the 3.5 mil that they're going to have to pay out for the breach of contract. So overall, I think Epic wins on this, and this is going to be huge for developers. And I feel like the future of people making games within the Apple system, I feel like this really kind of shifts the kind of what Apple has been doing this whole time. And this shows, I feel like, cracks in that armor that they've been, they weren't found as a monopoly, but this definitely hurts their bottom line and kind of how they've been forcing people to pay. So this is huge. And Epic, again, continues to be for the consumer, or at least
it's definitely for the consumer.
From a yeah, exactly, with quotation marks, because that's what they're putting out, that they're, hey, we're for the, blah, blah, and this and that. There's another end game as far as that. It's their bottom line.
I look at this, it's like, I kind of look at this as like two rich kids are fighting in the backyard, like in the schoolyard, and then it's like, how is that going to, like, they both got black eyes, but it's like, but everyone around them, they're like, they kind of deserved it, both of them. So like, I will say this though, I mean, it's good. Like, I feel like, because throughout the whole process, Epic, I don't know how many suits they did or that they were suing Apple for, but they were suing them for a lot of different ones. The one that really counts is this big change, the one that they won. Like, but all the other ones that they asked that they were suing them for, like Monopoly and loss of profits and stuff like that, they lost all of them to Apple. Yeah. So in that sense, it's like, okay, cool. But the bigger issue is, I think that they won the one that's going to systematically change the platform of how people or how companies are going to be paying for services like that on iOS. Cause now, keep this in mind. Now, since this is over, Epic's going after Google. So the Google Play,
right?
So this is going to be the same dance that's going to happen. The same dance is going to happen exactly with Google for the same story. Yeah. Exactly. So this is the most important one out of the many of the lawsuits. One, and it's funny to me because like when I thought about this, I looked at Jason Schreier. If you check out Jason Schreier's Twitter, he's hilarious. But he's a really known gaming journalist. The best way to quote it is what he says, and he says, so Epic lost on just about every count and will have to pay millions, while Apple now has to let apps use external payment processors, potentially costing them billions.
Right.
And I'm just like, yeah, because I'm just like, that's true. It's like, hey, no, right? If Epic only has to pay like $3 million for this change, it's just like, okay. Plus with the court fees and stuff, it's like, okay, I'll do that. We're Epic. I mean, like Fortnite is, oh my God, like
it's
Fortnite
so huge.
Totally changed the platform of strengths of it. Can you now say, like, is it crazy to say that Fortnite is what brought down a new aspect on Apple? Is insane to me.
It's crazy. It's crazy, dude. It's absolutely insane. And who knows? Because you're right, dude. Google's next as far as with that, because the same thing's going to happen. And now a precedent's been set as far as with this. So I can't imagine them deviating from that precedence unless Google has some sort of different information or a different structure or whatever than Apple. Maybe there's a bit of a change. But even with the Apple ruling, Epic is still going in and appealing the ruling. It's like, who knows? I mean, this thing it's not over yet. It's not over yet by a long shot, because you have in other countries as well. You've got Spotify being sued for the same thing and other companies. So this is, I mean, the internet space and what is going on, I think, especially now with how much digital has been shoved into everybody's faces, it kind of makes me a little nervous as far as regulations and regulatory stuff. Cause I feel like when, the brighter that spotlight gets, the more that people are going to say, oh, what's going on over here? Wait a second, you can't do that. And, you're going to be seeing even more things kind of evolve and change. So I feel like we are kind of, this is in that beginning stages of some sort of change. And I don't know what it looks like. I don't know if that makes me, and I love change, but this one kind of makes me nervous as far as what they're going to do, because again, you're going to have a bunch of people trying to craft out these laws and things of this nature that have no idea, what the hell they're even, how people are using it or whatever. They have a very limited capacity as far as what it means and the implications moving forward, overall as a global thing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry. Were you going to say something, Lex? I wasn't sure. I didn't want to.
I was. So what I found interesting while I was reading is what the judge defined a game as, which then will tie into the laws later on. But the definition in and of itself, people are like, wait, what? Are you serious? Like, basically, like they're with the way that they describe what a game is, it's anything where the consumer has to interact. So if that's the thought process, Netflix's Bandersnatch was a game, but it's not. You know what I mean? And so it's like, wait a minute, you've opened up a wormhole essentially for things to now be jumped on in other realms as well as a game that they're interacting with. And it's like, no, but it's not. And so I think that might kind of dig itself a hole later on. And I'm intrigued as to how, like, I know that they're appealing certain things, and I think that that's part of it. Because here's the deal, like my dad, he's a boomer, but he absolutely understands how games work, what they're like. I mean, I grew up playing my first games in my dad's recording studio, playing flight simulators. I played a bunch of them. And like that was kind of all computers did, was solitaire, flight simulators, and then you used them for work, right? That was my first instance with games, essentially, on a bigger device. And so, you know, it's and is that really a game though? I mean, yes and no. But it's just very interesting, and I think that that's going to tell a lot later on. I'm curious to see how that evolves in and of itself, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is that like so I didn't know that Spotify was getting sued for the same thing, because I think the level of what happened with for Fortnite, but it's not really a monopoly. I think the thing that they were more pissed off about was how Fortnite was trying to find a way to kind of, you know, take more money, like, because they were annoyed that Apple was taking 30% off of the top just because they're hosting it. So then all that what Fortnite did was they were trying to encourage people to go to somewhere else to get that to get their V-Bucks. Their V-Bucks, instead of going through Apple, so they can get more of the cut of that money. And that's all it was. It was mostly that. It's because that they did that, they got kicked off of the platform because the TOS and all that stuff. So like, I think that it's just that, I mean, I didn't know if it was that aggressive with Spotify and stuff like that. Like if that's the exact same kind of thing, because they were basically 86th, man. They were just like, they were basically any Epic game, no more Fortnite and stuff like that, was on that platform, because that they were trying to circumvent the Apple charges that they were trying to avoid. I mean, unfortunately, they have to pay them now. Yeah.
They were fighting for their customers, so they didn't have to pay that extra fee, which really it's like, well, yes, but also no. Like, you want that dough in your pocket, not in their pocket, which, you know, like, again, it's like two rich kids fighting in the backyard. Like, oh God, here we go again. Like, Tommy and Billy.
Exactly. So I think that this version of what happened is a very good thing overall for everybody. The good news is that so people don't have to feel to feel like they're getting squeezed just because they're on an iOS platform. And now with this kind of thing, hopefully, I want to know how fast it's going to be with the implemented change, because like you were saying, they're going through appeals. Apple's going through appeals on this, and I don't know how. I mean, Apple can afford really, really good lawyers. So who knows if it's going to stick? But I'm just saying that this is a very interesting step overall.
Well,
so
and right now this is all playing out in the mobile space. I'm wondering if this doesn't dip into, you know what I mean, other spaces outside of mobile, like direct games and how like Steam and the PlayStation Store and which we know that in itself has its own issues.
If anything, it's really the PlayStation Store. I mean, Steam and Epic are fighting against each other, so it's pretty open. So I don't think that, because Steam is not forcing you to buy, because you can buy the games in multiple ways. So that's PlayStation. PlayStation is the only one that's really like, if you're going to be under the PlayStation Store, like, look at it this way. And I didn't even think of it this way. You can't gift a game on PlayStation at all. Like, unless you get the key and stuff. Yeah, very much so. And then remember, And then 3 years ago, they stopped giving, digital keys. They stopped selling digital keys at retail stores.
Right.
So so the only way to get a digital game was through PlayStation Store, and there was no way. And then like individuals, like people like indies, they can't make a discount code unless PlayStation allows them to do that. Right. So that's very So that would be the upward fight of like what's going to happen there. And I mean, and when you think about it, like crossplay was really started because Fortnite crossplayers kind of raised the stink about that, because originally, remember, PlayStation, if you tied your account on a PlayStation account of Fortnite, you can't move it over to any other account because of PlayStation's TOS. So so I think PlayStation might be the next one in the scope, in my opinion. But that one's, I think, it's going to be a tougher buy because oddly enough, like where Fortnite gets most of its money, PlayStation. All the DLC is mostly PlayStation DLC, which is insane to me to think that that's the case. I thought it would have been computer.
No.
Yeah, I was like, holy crap. So that's, and you know what's funny? It makes sense because they were real. It makes more sense on why they wanted to make it exclusive to PlayStation because they were getting so much money from all that DLC money. So so I was just like, oh wow. So that fight, it's gonna be fun.
But all the people I know that play Fortnite, they have a computer that they could be gaming Fortnite on, but they played on their PlayStation because they started on their PlayStation and they can't move it over. So they spent all that money on V-Bucks or Progress, and it's like, why would I bother when I can just now essentially play it off of my PC while having my PlayStation? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, we have these capabilities of merging the PlayStation onto, like, playing it off of our computer, even though we are still playing it off of the PlayStation. So in retrospect, they could be making more money elsewhere, but PlayStation kind of stuck them in a rut, and now they can't, there's no wiggle room, And so it's interesting to know what those numbers would have been if you could move, but you can't. So
well, now you can. It's more free now than what it was when it once was, but PlayStation had to make a deal with PlayStation because
there's no way there was no deal made on that.
Like I don't know what that deal is entails, but they have to have made like some sort of money deal to be like
favors PlayStation.
Yeah, that favors PlayStation. That's the only deal. That's the only way.
You want this? You gonna pay for it?
You want this? How much money you got? What's in your pocket?
Yeah.
That's exactly what happened. All right, well, that was a good topic, Smitty. Good one.
Yeah.
But we'll see how it's going to go in the near
There's
future.
a little bit of resolution to this, but it's definitely not over by any means.
Very much so. Very much so. All right, so it's my topic, and my topic is about the PlayStation Showcase 2021 that decided to say, "Hey, Xbox E3, we're going to we're doing stuff too, so you need to shut up." So that's basically what they did to it. Because I mean, the biggest thing is like, and this is what, I mean, Smitty and I kind of disagree with the directions of this, but this is the thing I'm talking about. Exactly what I'm talking about. But so September, Sony made the PlayStation Showcase that just happened about 3 days ago, to show off the games that are coming in. Now, I'm not saying that this showcase was like the best showcase ever. Yeah, I know, right? The best showcase ever. But I will say that it was I'd say I would give it a B plus and A minus kind of level kind of thing. Cause like it was good. It was a good one. Very good one, actually. So they had a lot of different games that were coming out. They were showing stuff that they were going to be doing, like what their plans are in the near future. And they were showing off some of the things that is going to be exclusive to the PS5. The big thing is exclusive to the PS5. So let's pray that this is going that they stay the course. So some of the stuff I actually have it all written down because I was like, there was a lot of stuff that happened. So they were talking about like Jim, like they introduced Jim Ryan introduced you, who's the president of PlayStation himself, saying like, oh, hey, yeah, we've been busy and stuff. But the big one, they start off really strong in this one with Knights of the Old Republic. Now, Knights of the Old Republic is, if you're not familiar with it, because it's an old game, it is a very old game. but it is one of the best RPGs that BioWare has made. In fact, this was the game that brought BioWare to the map, like really originally, you know. So when they started this over,
but you said it was BioWare.
Yeah, that's a BioWare game. Yeah.
Okay,
So this, this game is this game is big. This game was big. So this was like, it was, Knights of the Republic was the first one that they made. Then eventually when Dragon Age, they made one called Jade Empire. Then they made, was Mass Effect on the PS? Yeah, that was way later. Yeah. BioWare, then the Dragon Age and all that stuff. So then, so this is the beginning of BioWare. Game is amazing. Yeah. So like, this was a really cool system of a game. I'm really glad that they're bringing it over, and we'll see how, see what they're going to do. This is a timed exclusive from what we've gathered, the information that we have right now. Timed exclusive is going to be exclusive to PS5 for, I believe, a year. Then it's going to move over to other platforms and on PC. So the only way to play it's going to be that. So they also introduced a new IP called Project Eve, which looked like a Devil May Cry kind of action game that looked pretty nice, like pretty shiny. I mean, nothing really kind of, screamed out, you know what I mean? Like from it. But that was actually a pretty good it was a pretty good trailer and stuff. So Project Eve was basically like kind of have all this crazy, I don't know what the hell was going on, because like she was in space for one moment and now she's back on Earth. So I'm assuming she's an android. The graphics look very clean, very smooth, and very fast. So we'll see how all that's going to look, how it's going to be in the future. But then they showed like some of they actually showed gameplay of Tiny Tina's Wonderland gameplay. They actually showed some of that. So if you were fans of Borderlands, mixed with Dungeons and Dragons with like magic and guns and stuff like that, with you're in the Tiny Tina's world, looks very, very fun. Looked very fun indeed. So that's that's definitely going to be. Then the big thing, and I think Lex would appreciate this, an Alan Wake remaster for PlayStation for the first time. Never been on PlayStation before. It's only been on Xbox. It's only been on PC. So that's going to be pretty cool.
Pretty cool to see about that recently, but that's going to be elsewhere.
But it's a remaster. Yeah. Well. Yeah, it's going to be, but I think it's going to be. I think it's also a locked one too, but it doesn't really matter. I think the big thing is like what you were wanting, which was an Alan Wake 2.
Yeah,
from what you were saying.
So that's what I thought it was going to be at first.
I thought it was too. Yeah, because I had someone message me not too long ago about it, if I would be interested in playing a second one. I said yes, and then I didn't hear anything about it, and then we got that announcement, and I was like, I give up. Never mind.
But here's a remake.
I know, right?
Thank you?
So you know what?
So remakes and remasters. There's too many.
Remakes and remasters are like, you know what? It's funny. Someone actually asked me about that too, and I was like, you know what? There is a place for remakes and remasters, but there's an oversaturation of remakes and remasters currently right now that I think it's what makes me really annoyed. So, so there's just I think the scale is off balance right now. We need new IPs. But I think but hey, look at it this way. They've shown, Sony announced 5 different, like two new IPs, that are that Sony made themselves. Then they made sequels, direct sequels, and then like 4 or 5 direct sequels, and then they are also Sony exclusives, mixed with the cross-platform games like Deathloop, Vampire the Masquerade, Uncharted, Ghostwire Tokyo. No, Ghostwire is also exclusive, but Guardians of the Galaxies and stuff. But they're showing the big thing that showed about this that made this showcase really worth it was the fact that they showed PlayStation 5 exclusive games that were exclusively on the system that would give you a reason to play to get the game. And that's the big beef I have with Microsoft with the Xbox. Because the big thing because for the most part, from what Microsoft did show in the previous E3 was the obvious Halo Infinite. We also got the what's it called? Like triple A level, I'd say. God, what was it called?
Starfield?
Yeah, Starfield. Thank you.
Mhm.
Starfield, but Starfield is not. We're not gonna see Starfield like in gameplay until next year, right?
Yeah,
So
at
like,
least.
yeah, and stuff like that. But like, but they're showing off. I mean, dude, they showed off like they showed the teaser with Marvel Wolverine. You have with Insomniac Studios is doing Marvel Wolverine.
Didn't even see that coming. I was just like, what?
Yeah, which is the same studio that gave you Marvel Spider-Man, which is crazy. So and then they even said Marvel Spider-Man 2 is coming out, and then then they showed the teaser with Venom, the Venom face. So they're bringing the black symbiote suit, which I think the main bad guy in that one, though, I am 100% sure that it's Kraven. Kraven has to be the bad guy in this one. So, yeah, because you remember how the accent was when he was talking and stuff. That wasn't Venom until the end. Right. Yeah. Right. So I think that was going to be freaking great. But the big one of them all, when it was all said and done, was God of War. First ever gameplay and trailer of like how this game is going to look. And
knew we were getting it.
Yeah,
knew we were getting it. I was like, they'd be fools if they did not get it on this.
Yeah, this game looks amazing. So I am definitely like, this is, and it's funny, like the same thing was what it was at immediately after this trailer did exactly what this showcase was doing, and it made people want to get a PlayStation 5. So that, and I didn't think that was the same kind of mentality I thought for Microsoft. And I'm not saying this to rag on Microsoft's side. I'm just saying Microsoft needs to bring a lot of A game on the on AAA. They need to amp it up, especially to give a reason why we should care about like the Series X or Series S and stuff like that. So I wanted to see what's your thoughts of the showcase. I don't know if you saw. You saw the show? Did y'all saw the showcase, right? No,
I did.
I did not.
So yeah.
So I'm watching, like, I'm side-eyeing, like, what? That looks great. And now I have Smitty replaying in my head 6 months ago, like, hey, I got an extra PS5. Would you be interested? And I'm like,
relax.
This is, talk about one of the biggest.
It's fine.
The biggest regret, Lex's biggest regrets.
Damn.
But it's good. But what about you, Smitty? What do you think?
Yeah, dude, this was a solid performance by Sony here with this showcase. I said it, I was like with this one, I was like, they've got to show some God of War stuff. I'm so glad to see. Like, I cannot freaking wait for that game to come out. I love the first, like, God of War. Like, I played the original ones. I still need to go back and finish 3. I never finished the third one. But then this new, just like, this is something I was here for as far as rebooting a series, because it is freaking dope. I can't wait for this to come out. Like you were saying, Tina's doodad and whatnot, like, that really has got me interested. That's a fun, she's a great character that we know of. And with this D&D style, it definitely has me interested. I'd have to say, for me, one of the ones that kind of like, I didn't even like, this really has not been on my radar, which was Ghostwire Tokyo. I remember when I originally saw stuff, I was like, that looks weak. That doesn't look like anything that I thought it would, like what I had in my head for it. Seeing this trailer kind of piqued my interest a bit more as far as what's going on. Yeah. And just even like, I was willing, it seemed like I was willing to accept what I was seeing gameplay wise, as far as the first person, now that I have that understanding that it is a first person game. Mm-hmm. So, like, this one, I don't know, man. I might have to take a look at that, because this could be cool. It seems very weird and interesting.
My problem with Ghostwire Tokyo is like we haven't seen anything like this in like they've been talking about Ghostwire for like 3 or 4 years. So like, it's been a bit. So we don't, and they still didn't even give a date when this one came out. So like, we don't know if it's like how soon are we going to be seeing this in the near future. But overall, like, it's but theoretically, even if they didn't have the God of War like trailer, I mean, were you not like, are you not hyped on what's to come on this system at all?
Oh yeah. I mean,
come on.
Well, dude, and next year, well, that's the thing too, though. They've just cemented in, this is why you need a PlayStation 5. And if this doesn't get people, you know what I mean, re-upping that surge of, oh, there's so much good stuff coming out, I need to get one right now, even though I can't. This showcase absolutely did it. But you know, again, that was just waiting for the games to come, because I don't have to worry about that. And that's something that's nice. But I know that a lot of people, you know, do have that issue where it's like, you know, like this is something that they're either going to have to try to grind out to be able to get, or, you know,
Smitty,
whatever.
you said it wrong.
What?
You said it wrong. You should have said, oh, I don't have to worry about that since I already have a PS5 on my own. Oh.
See? Yeah.
So, yeah.
I'm so glad I don't have to worry about that, dude. Seriously. And I thought about it. I was like, well, maybe I'll just wait on it. And I was like, nah, let's try to go all in. You remember that night, dude. You remember that night. He totally, yeah. And then I found it. I checked, I used my phone for
Best Buy.
On Best Buy, and I was like, dude, I was just able to buy another one. I was like, holy crap. I was like, I don't even need this, but I was able to do it. I was like, I know I'll find somebody that,
just in case I forget, just in case I break my first one, don't worry about the second one, because I got that covered too.
I'm not gonna lie, it did cross my mind just to keep both, and I was like, I really don't need.
Look at this dude. Fine died Smitty. That's what he is.
I was like, nah. I'd rather give it to somebody or get it to somebody that is looking to get it. You know what I mean? It's like,
oh my god.
But yeah, dude, this got me pumped, man.
G9 says, I got the platinum for God of War 1, 2, and 3. Kratos is all my all-time favorite video game character. You know what's funny to me? And it's funny. It's like, I was not a fan of God of War, not the original ones, not the original series of it.
Hack and slash, baby.
Well, you know, I don't mind the hack and slash. I just didn't like. I'm a very story driven guy. The gameplay of the God of Wars are great, but like I just didn't like Kratos himself was really one dimensional. He was just an angry being wanting to kill people. So I like, but I love but it is but like what made what turned it around on me is what they did on the PS when they reintroduced God of War in Norse mythology, and I was like, wow,
right,
okay, so now you got my attention. You did an incredible job on gameplay. You did an incredible job on storytelling. You added the elements of Norse mythology very well. I'm sure this things because I'm not a Norse like master of it, but now when I saw this, I was like, okay, good. And because like he's still angry, he's still mad and stuff like that, but he's not like I'm just going on the main, like I'm 100% testosterone. Woo! Just kind of thing, that kind of deal, you know, that kind of thing. So we'll see how all that goes. But no, I'm definitely looking hyped. Yeah, boring. I'm definitely hyped. Definitely want to see how this is going to come. There's a lot of games that's coming out. This one, I'm definitely cannot wait to see where it goes. But,
I was surprised that we didn't get any gameplay from Horizon. That was a bit of a shocker to me.
Why?
I mean, I figured just something. Give me a little something.
A month ago. They didn't give us any more.
Give me a little taste. Give me another taste. Here's another spoonful.
Why do you want a spoonful?
I don't know. I feel like we already got a taste of that. And if they give us more, I think they're just giving away too much. I want to, you know, in that case, it's like, well, why am I playing the game? Like you already told me what it's about now. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I don't know. It's watching all of this. I'm excited for people who have PS5s. I don't even have one. And I've always said, like, out of the Xbox PS5 war, I always went with, or PlayStation in general, I always went with the PlayStation because those were where the exclusives were. Why would I waste my money on an Xbox when the games I wanted to play were on PlayStation, right? So, you know, balling on a budget, you've got to take that into consideration. And
oh, here's an idea though, and here's a really cool idea to me too. Like, don't you think that I think this is a good evaluation of like what it is on, like, you know, like you were saying, Xbox Game Pass and not doing Xbox Game Pass. Because here's the same thing I'm looking at. Maddie's been saying some stuff here. It says, yeah, he's not on the mission like he was on the original. He's agreeing with what I was saying on Facebook, by the way. So he's saying, because like I was talking about like with God of War, he's saying, yeah, he's not on the mission like he was on the original series. And I like them both. Love Greek mythology, and he is saying that you need to play 3 because it's a nice story.
Yeah.
Lex, did you say you didn't play 3 or
Never
you didn't?
played
I
any
did
of
1
God
and
of War.
2.
Okay, y'all both should play 3.
I have 3. It was free. You probably have it, Lex, on your PS4.
Probably.
That's very true. Yeah, if not, I'd be willing to buy it for you, and then you could and you could play it, because like I think it would be a pretty good podcast in itself. Spoiler cast, and then a spoiler cast of that.
And you're not one dimensional, G-Nice. I also like to destroy things. So,
well, I know some people were excited about this Gran Turismo too, and like that is not up my alley at all. But dude, I've seen people talking about it.
Yeah, I'm not calling G-Nice out. I know G-Nice's taste in games. I'm just saying, G-Nice is what track killing my. Hey, it's all good. It's cool with it. I'm just saying that was just not my bag. That's all I'm saying. No, G-Nice is a cool dude. But let's but no, you're right about Gran Turismo. Gran Turismo 7 is the one I'm always kind of wondering, because like the problem with Gran Turismo games is that the studio takes their time on these games, and for too long, because that's how, like, what's the equivalent that's on Xbox? What's the version of that?
Forza?
Yeah, Forza. Forza basically took the reins of what Gran Turismo was, because remember, Gran Turismo was like the top, the end all be all level of it. And they still are, but they just take forever for these games to come out, to a point where it's like you forget about it. And Forza's already on Forza's on 5, right? Or 4 or 5.
I think 5, yeah.
Yeah. And Gran Turismo's now on 7. It's been out longer. So they kind of making these games a lot faster. So we'll see how this goes. But
looks clean. So, it looks clean.
Yeah. Does look very clean. I might want to pick it up. My friend Preston too.
For PS5, dude, can you imagine what that looks like? And not only that, but like the haptic controls, as far as with that, dude, I bet that gives you. Yeah, that'd be a crazy experience. That would be exciting for people. I can see why people would be excited for this.
Never really thought about that.
Not my cup of tea, but I think this a lot of people are going to enjoy this, I think.
Definitely. So yeah, so there's a lot of things to go for PS5. You definitely have a fun time on what to expect. I think it's gonna be awesome. So let's go. Yeah, so let's check it out. Let's just wait for when Lex decides to get a PS5, and we'll go from there.
Yeah.
All right. Let's close this party. Let's start shutting this thing down. But let's go with Lex on the last topic. What are you bringing to the table?
Yeah, well, funny that we should be on Twitch. Twitch is finally suing some people over the hate raids. The hashtag Twitch do better, hashtag a day off of Twitch, to bring light to the fact that obviously people in marginalized groups on Twitch, like the Black communities and the LGBTA plus communities, are being harassed and incessantly, might I add, over and over. Finally, it seems that Twitch is doing something. Now, we can't really say what Twitch does behind closed doors, because obviously they're not giving us play-by-plays for everything, which sometimes sucks, because you, as the person on the platform, you don't go to work expecting to get harassed, right? And I think nobody does. And, for a lot of us who are full-time streamers, that's kind of the way of the world at this point. My first hate raid, I got hit. I had 1,000+ people come in. Yeah, it was, that was some crazy business to happen all at once. It was very overwhelming. And for me, I take things in stride, but after the fact, I cried. I got off stream. I felt like I handled myself well. I felt like, my mods and we took the precautions that we needed to, and I was okay. But I think the reason I was okay is because I've been targeted before, and my Discord's been hit so many times, which now my Discord is locked up tight. You have to get an invite only kind of scenario.
And that's not okay, dude. For you to do all of that just to be dealing with that, it's messed up.
Well, and the thing is I'm not vetting people for their IDs to come into my Twitch or to come into my Discord. I put that it's 18+. If they're not 18+, I'm not their mother, right? That's not my job to be checking everyone's IDs. But then I do have a duty as the streamer or the content creator in Twitch or off of Twitch to then protect my community from things like that, because though it may not bother me, it may bother somebody else. And again, I already dealt with it to the point where someone came into my Discord, got on comms, and was saying horrible racial slurs in my headphones, which is then being projected to my Twitch stream. I'm in the middle of a game that I can't back out of. I'm stuck in a situation that I can't stop. It's horrifying. And I can only imagine it gets worse for people for lives I haven't lived, right? You know, I am a marginalized group, but I'm not the marginalized group. And, you know, it sucks to suck, right? So finally, Twitch has come out and they've openly stated that they are suing two groups. And the thing is when Twitch bans or perma-bans somebody, they IP ban them. Well, fun fact, you can get what's called a VPN. You pay for a monthly service, and that changes your IP, right? So then they can't really IP ban you forever, essentially. And that's the issue with what's happening. So they're going after cruise control and creatine overdose. I believe creatine overdose, if I'm not mistaken, is a part of the hate raids, but they're more in the realm of creating the space where bots can be then created to do said hate raids. Now, there are websites where you can go and you can see where people in their communities are watching creators specifically to then go hit them with hate raids. They're in the Netherlands and Vienna, Austria. Twitch in the suit says they initially took swift action by suspending, then permanently banning their accounts. However, they evaded Twitch's ban by creating new alternate Twitch accounts. Again, with the VPN, you can get a new IP essentially, so they could forever create accounts, right? There's no stopping somebody who has a VPN. And continually altering their self-described hate raid code to avoid detection and suspicion by Twitch. The complaint alleges that Cruise Control and Creatine Overdose still operate multiple accounts on Twitch under aliases, as well as thousands, and I mean thousands of bot accounts. In under 3 minutes, they can make 3,000 bots to do these hate raids. So think about that injunction. Somebody, because, you know, in our minds, I think for a content creator myself, in my mind, I'm thinking, God, these people are spending all day just pouring hate onto people. But in reality, they probably have a 40-hour-a-week job and they spend 5 minutes a day hitting somebody or, you know, setting up with a lot of other somebodies to then raid hate down on multiple other somebodies. And it's really not that much out of their day because obviously it takes minutes for them to do this. So I'm going to read directly. So on August 15th, Creatine Overdose demonstrated how their software could be used, and I put quotes, could be used to spam Twitch channels with racial slurs, graphic descriptions, which I get boobs a lot. I don't know. They use the commas and the periods to give me boobs, which fine. I don't mind. Keep doing it. Whatever. Oh no, and takes my time to ban. Graphic description of violence against minorities and claims that the hate raiders are the KKK. The suit also alleges that the defendants may be part of a hate raid community, which we already know that, which coordinates attacks over Discord and Steam, which I'm very well aware of that. And I've been hit by these people. They've gotten into legal fisticuffs previously with a company that was basically creating or had a software to create bots to do along this line of sort of thing. And, you know, they had won. They got $1.3 million for the breach of contract because it was against their terms of service. So obviously in the past, they've won easily. You know, there's a lot of laws already as for like anti-bullying, like cyber stalking and things like that. And that's what these things are creating is a cyber stalking, bullying campaign, hate raids. That's not even bullying. Like telling someone to go kill themselves is beyond bullying at that point, if you ask me.
I just think it's like the whole process of all this seems like it's a ridiculous process that we even have to go through. I just find it very childish in general how all this is like happening. Like this is like, because I mean, you know, this is not something that Twitch themselves and it's just not something that Twitch would ever be expecting on the level, you know, how someone would be willing to troll to that level. to that extent to be like, here, we're going to start doing raids and then we're going to do this to, I mean, it's just sickening that they're going to be doing it to minority streamers and LGBTQ members and stuff like that. Like it's not something that no one would know that this is a problem until it actually happens. And then now, like, I mean, it happened to all three of them. Well, it didn't happen to the, I'm saying to the extent of what's happening now. Like, I mean, it happened to all three of us. When someone says that, like when Lex says that she got hate rated before, I'm not surprised. I'm not saying it's because of your content, but more is the fact that it's to see that happening to women on Twitch is more common than what I could expect. Like, but
my Discord one was more intense. I'll be honest. I was
gonna say I've had people. I had somebody utilize my TTS.
That's what they did to
that
me.
Started pushing all these racial slurs. Dude, there is a clip of it that plays on my random clip thing, which I may end up getting banned for at some point in time. I can't even find it. I can't find the clip.
I had
really? Wow.
Submitted to Twitch.
Yes.
Because they clipped it, so I clipped their clip, and like I can't get rid of it. I can't.
Yes.
I deleted it, and it still comes up on other. And I'm like, no, not that one. Yeah,
I
no,
know.
it happens to me. I get dead bodies. I get
that is so, like I don't think this isn't a new thing. I mean, yes, the frequency of this, especially the specific one, I feel like is definitely called attention. I feel that also, you know what I mean? I think that maybe that this on the first, what they did in the what was the thing this past on the first? It was a day away from Twitch yeah. I think that did. I think, that was talked about in national media.
Did it actually do anything Twitch, though? Like,
well, I think Twitch, I mean, look at it. I think there was a little bit of a dent for that day. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I think this kind of helped at least to at least get Twitch to respond and do something. They may have already been in the works of doing this stuff. We know that
at least
Twitch,
it brought it forward that they were doing it. Because before they were just being silent. It's like, so you guys don't care. And they're like, well, we already gave you the tools. It's like, yeah, you gave us the tools and they keep bypassing them. So then what am I supposed to do? And they're like, run a commercial and go to emote only. And it's like, great. So now I have a panic button on my stream deck. This is insane. And they're like, yep, that's what you have to do. I'm like, so what about, well, you guys don't deal with Discord, never mind. Like, what about the dead bodies
thing too, though?
In my Discord? They're like, whatever.
Like, I'm what like, in part is
they don't care. Well, that's how it felt.
And what about because that's got to be against Discord's policies as well. Like, what is Discord doing as far as these hate groups organizing in a thing? And I don't know what the solution is. I don't know what the answer for that would be. But to allow people to congregate to then go around, and not only that, but then these things have IP grabbers. Which then who knows what kind of nefarious things they could do. They could sell those things on the black market. They could, there's no telling what they could do with that kind of stuff. So I'm really hoping that there's some sort of resolution that they are able to do something along, with this suit and being able to actually get the people the actual people that have created this stuff. But again, I don't think this, to me, that is still just putting a Band-Aid on a gushing wound. It's not going to, one person falls, somebody else is right there to take their place. Yeah. You know what I mean? This doesn't attack the overall issue of things being able to be bypassed and done like that. There's still more work that needs to be done in those respects.
Oh yeah. I mean, I've had people in my, pretty recently DM me and they're like, I watch your streams every day that you go live. I'm like, who are these people? I don't ask, I don't respond. And I'm like, who the heck are you? And they can say things that I've said on stream, which I don't hide anything. Like, I am disabled. I cannot work a full-time job. I faint and I have seizures. That's not cohesive for a work environment. Let's be real. Especially where I have to be on my feet. I'd be fainting all over the place, And, they'll threaten me. Oh, I'll find you. And I'm thinking to myself, if you Googled hard enough, you could find me. Why are you threatening to find my IP address to then dox me? Why are you going through all this effort? I don't know you from Adam.
People are weird.
What did I do? Pee in your cereal? I don't understand. I don't respond, but you know what I mean? And it's that level of effort could be used to then look at yourself in the mirror and say something nice to yourself. Say something nice to somebody. Do something nice for someone else. That will make you feel better than peeing in everyone else's Cheerios and then running across the table screaming, ha, 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 it was me. Do you know what I mean? I feel like as far as like these people must not have a great mental health. I think
overall, insane. Though, at least they're doing the bare minimum of like, I mean, Twitch is not doing as good. Well, I won't even say the bare minimum. It's actually, they're doing a little bit more if they're suing, if they're going out after them. So I will give them credit. I'll give them credit to that. And then they're crediting it to certain people. But I think overall though, like, I just think that like it's I mean, trolls I've had no patience for. The biggest thing is that you don't want to give the people like this the satisfaction that they're getting to you and stuff like that. So I'm just glad that the biggest thing is that they need to they just need to like they're doing what they need to do to go with it to hopefully close the track so people aren't being affected by this. And if I got affected by this, like, I mean, that's surprising. I usually don't get affected by all this craziness that happens. Like, but yesterday I was just like, wow, are you serious? It's this bad? Like, it must be bad if everybody if it's in everybody. Yeah. So it's crazy.
It was interesting because I thought, like, at first I was like, I noticed certain people and certain names and they weren't interacting with me. And I was like, is it because I'm a part of a marginalized stream team? I am one of the pastiest people on my stream team. And, you know, like, I can't imagine what it would be like to not be who I am and what I've gone through, but to live another life and just constantly have that on me, and then to then have a space where I feel like I've coined a corner of the internet finally, and for me and my community, and we can hang out here and be safe, to then get hit over and over. That it's not fun. It's not fun. And it's really sad. And I have no patience for them either. I try not to give them the time of day, and respond in any way, shape, or form. But, it's to the point where it's like, well, if we're not responding, someone has to respond on our behalf. Definitely. You know what I mean? Because this would be like a huge HR issue if we weren't private contractors,
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. We'll definitely go with that. But no, that's a good topic, Lex. That's awesome.
Thanks.
Hey, Lex.
Yeah.
What do you have planned for this week?
Well, I think I'm going to finish 12 minutes, do another playthrough, maybe play some White Day on hard mode and get that last ghost. I'm still only 30% in that game. Wow. What does it want from me? I think I need to like prick my finger and give my computer some blood or something at this point. Jesus. I don't get it. And then of course, Spoopy Tuesday we'll play some games. Someone the other day asked me, they're like, do you play Uno often? I was like, no, but it's been a night. We're gonna end the night with Uno just to calm ourselves,
Right.
But yeah, that was my week. So
awesome.
And then
oh, sweet deal. So how about you, Smitty? What do you have plans for next week?
You already know what it is. More Destiny, Foyo Face, and then I'm hoping I started going back. I'm going back and I should be finishing up with Mass Effect here again, and now I'm going to move on to Mass Effect 2, which I'll most likely do on stream is my plan. And I'm close to beating War Wakanda. So I'll try to do that campaign for Marvels, which is, that was a pretty solid DLC. It's a fun character and whatnot. I'm just curious to see if they move forward and do more stuff or if this is the end for Marvel's Avengers. So we'll see.
They're done.
David says they're done. David says we're done.
Then why would you want to go to a game? Why do you want to go to a game that's basically gone? Like it's dead at this point.
Nah, dude, they can. No. What if they revived it somehow? And they're like, you know what? In spite of Davis, we're gonna do this instead.
Like besides going through it, like just going like Anthem. Hey, you know what? They got a game. Like they're working with Guardians of the Galaxies, and then if Galaxy, I bet you if Galaxies does better than Marvel Avengers, done. They're not doing anything.
Well, they were smart to have that as a single player game, right? Well, it's not co-op either, right? It's just single player. Just single smart. Player. They had to because they were like, all right, we dipped our toes into this co-op. They could have just not messed with any of that stuff and they would have been just fine. But I mean, again, I would not be mad if they continued doing things for it.
If they did story-based continuances, I would not be mad, but I don't think they're going to waste their time on it. I don't think they would be. That still takes time and money.
We'll see. And if you do like MMOs, you should check out. There's a mobile Marvel's Revolutions that I'm playing as well. I'm not gonna lie either. I am super addicted to freaking Raid Shadow Legends. I've been playing.
Smitty, how much money did you put in?
I haven't put any money in. I haven't put any money in. At all. Yeah. So, although I tried and it just didn't go through. It's something I messed it up somehow.
I thought I tried.
Shame, I did.
That is hilarious.
Opie has had it with you. She's like, no, I'm done.
Funny.
And Metal Gear Solid 5. Yes, that is getting beat. We only have 4 missions left.
He's never gonna do it.
They're just a hard ones. I don't know that I'm gonna do all of them on there, but I'll do. How
about this? Why don't we just let Smitty finish Metal Gear on November 14th? It's very important. It's very important. Let him to finish Metal Gear Solid 5 on November 14th.
There we go.
So Smitty could just pay another $100 for that.
Wait! I thought I had the year. I thought I had the year.
No, until Extra Life.
What?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought it was the whole year.
My God. You couldn't finish it until the next Extra Life.
Well, I've made a lot of progress. I can't finish it. I know I'm at that.
You go through the freaking column records.
No, that's fine. That's fine. Again, that's what, 2 months away.
Yeah, say that down. Yeah.
I say that now. That 2 months is gonna go by so fast.
Then we're gonna see. It's like, hey, it's 2 months away. Then we just do a cutscene of this of the end segment of this every time. I only need four chapters away. That's all we're gonna hear constantly.
I'm finishing it. I don't care. I have to get through some of these things because there's so many spicy games coming out next year, dude. There's no way I'm going to be able to do backlog stuff. There's too much good stuff that's coming out, dude. My wallet's going to be hurting.
You know what's funny? So I said I'm not going to do Back for Blood. I'm going to hold back on Back for Blood for 60. I'm going to hold back on that. There's certain things because I was just like, you know what? I need to organize it because there's just too many things that are coming in. February is a bloated month. I really don't believe Horizon's coming out. February is going to get delayed. But there's other games that's going to be coming out, so we'll see how we'll just see when that happens. But so we'll go with that. Guardians is definitely coming out next month, which is surprising. Guardian comes out 26th.
Wait, it comes out next month?
Yeah.
What? I thought that was like a next year game.
It is not.
Holy crap!
Yeah, Guardians comes out next month, man. So we got that going.
I'll be playing that. Yeah. Oh no, this is dangerous.
He's never gonna finish.
Then you got Battlefield. Yeah, you know what? That's exactly. It's funny. It's funny to me because it's like I really wish I took this bet because I was like, totally forgot how soon it's gonna be. Totally forgot.
$100 to my charity, please. Thank you.
Yes. So there you go. Smitty, classic Smitty right there.
We'll get it done. $100 to my charity.
He's gonna forget. Dave, you remind him. Ooh.
I'm not. Dave reminds me every time. He rubs it in my face every freaking week.
And that shows you how much he cares about you looking out for him there right there.
He does. He is. He's only looking out for me, but he rubs my face in it like I'm a dog that peed in the corner, just like, this ain't good about. How dare you do this? Like,
oh my God.
Get it done. My nose right in it.
Very nice. Well, next, as for me though, I am going to be coming back to streaming next week. So I was having some issues with my stream, with my Tales of Arise. I'm going to do start my playthrough of Tales of Arise next week. And then, And then we're going to probably play some more 14 because like I am basically near the end of the whole storyline plus the patches, and I will get my car. The reason why I'm playing this game, I will get the car from Final Fantasy. So we're definitely doing this, but also just to make sure to also alliterate this point, we're doing a raffle to give away a PS5 system, brand new PS5. It's a raffle for the Phoenix Children's Hospital. So we got a brand new PS5 system that was donated to us. We're wanting to have people to have a chance to get it themselves, to check out the awesome games that are going to be coming out next year that we were talking about. So if you're interested, I'll drop the link below, and you should definitely check it out. It's a $20 raffle. And all the proceeds go to Extra Life, the Phoenix Children's Hospital. So there you go. So guys,
Yaga.
waka waka. Thank you for thank you for being a part of the conversation for this episode number 106 of the CFG Gamecast. We will be back next week. If you missed this episode this week, that is perfectly fine. That's okay. We will bring it out on podcast services on Monday. As always, you can check us out on Google Podcasts, Stitcher Radio, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, every single podcast provider out there. So there is no excuse to not listen to our sexy voices. Yeah, so we will be back again next week. Definitely check us out, or go to our main website, confreaksandgeeks.com, for all the content that we do that's all geeky. So this is Davis signing off with Lex and Smitty. Y'all, take it easy.
Bye.